Blue Squad. Okay, so today we're back with another video. This time it's a video talking about what's going on in the States and everywhere else in the world, because it's pretty much an uproar now. So we're talking about George Floyd, what happened to George Floyd. So earlier this month, George Floyd was murdered, not, you know, like he was murdered by an officer, but there's 4 officers there, but he was murdered by this one officer who was kneeling on his neck. Okay, kneeling on his neck, even though he repeatedly said he can't breathe, the man was kneeling on his neck. So there's 4 officers, there's 2 officers on his back, and then there's the 1 officer that was on his neck, and then there was an Asian officer who was just standing there pretty much trying to block people from videotaping or whatever.
When I was watching the video, everybody who watched it, you could already see that George Floyd's hands were in handcuffs.
Handcuffs and behind his back.
And behind his back. And you're just looking at the video, you could just tell that this man is racist. Let's just get to the straight point.
Yeah.
He's racist, and you are not supposed to be kneeling on somebody's neck when they're already handcuffed.
You're not supposed to be kneeling on somebody's neck
period.
At all.
But like you're not, but they're already handcuffed. Like, why are you, my thing is with police officers, why are you a police officer when you don't know how
if you don't know how to handle
people?
situations?
Yeah, like why are you kneeling on the person's neck? You're the one who sees that the man's hands are handcuffed, but you're there kneeling on his neck and they're saying that he can't breathe. He's saying he can't breathe, and you're just there still looking at them in the face like you don't understand English.
So a little bit of history on that police officer is that he had, before his encounter with George Floyd, he actually knew George Floyd. I believe they worked at the same place. They worked at the same establishment, and I think they were both security. So he knows George Floyd, which kind of shows that what he did it on purpose. And you can look at him and tell that he did it on purpose, because people were telling him to get off of the man's neck, and he was there with his hands in his pocket looking straight face, like,
yeah,
right at them, and they're like, get off of him, and he was there, so he knew what he was trying to do. The other thing is that there was a surveillance video from the restaurant that was right by where George Floyd got arrested and where he got murdered. There was surveillance video, and it showed that he was complying with the police, because people always want to say, resisting arrest, he was resisting arrest and he should listen to the police and blah 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 blah. He was listening to the police, and they had him in the police cruiser. They had him in the police cruiser already. They had him in the police cruiser, and they took him out of the police cruiser and put him up against the wall with his hands already handcuffed. Like, so if you have him already under control and in the police cruiser, why not just take him to the police station?
And he's already handcuffed. Like, why are you on his neck? The certain things in that video are so unnecessary that you could just, they're showing their whole racist
they're showing
behavior.
Their true colors.
Yeah, it's coming out, and it's just like they didn't have to do all of that.
They didn't have to do all of that, and people are always saying like, oh, cops are this and cops are that, and don't, just because one bad cop doesn't mean that all cops are bad. So where are the good cops that are supposed to be speaking up when stuff like that is happening? You see the man there kneeling on that man's neck, okay, and you hear the man yelling out that he can't breathe. Where was the good officer in this situation to tell the man, okay, get off of him? Because good cops would step in situations like that.
But at the same
not
time,
even not doing that. If they're on the job working with their partner and they see that their partner is doing something like that, and you're a good cop, you would step in and be like, no, what are you doing? Kind of thing. I still haven't seen, there's only like a handful of videos, maybe less than a handful of videos, where I've seen like other cops step in and be like, what are you doing? No, what are you doing? Kind of thing. But like on the regular, when shit like that happens, there's always, and the thing is that there's always like a bunch of police officers, and like out of the 10 there's no good cop. Like the cops are just they're all doing the same thing. They're not trying to stop it or anything. Just put it this way,
this cop makes most of the cops look bad, and
the cops are making themselves look bad, because if you're not like that,
but
stand
anyways,
up and do something about it.
They need better training for cops as well, because like I don't understand how these police been in this quote unquote job or had this position for years now, but they still are killing off black people.
Yeah, and there's still not people in general.
But
especially black people,
especially
in the States,
and they don't, and then especially like they're already arrested or
they're already handcuffed.
There's lots of stuff that a police could do. They could use their taser. You don't have to kill the person, but yet they still don't know that shiznit because they're still killing off people. So that means that they're not trained properly.
I think they're not trained properly, and a lot of them just don't care at this point. Like they never care because they know every time when something like this happens, they don't get arrested. They get arrested, but do they ever go to jail? Do they ever do jail time? No. Do they ever like actually go to court? No. And it's like they're gonna keep doing it until they finally get what's coming to them.
Another thing that's funny to me is also with racist cops, the excuse that they usually make when it comes to a black man is saying like something like, oh, I was
afraid for my life.
But one thing that I was thinking to myself is, why do you have that position?
Why are you working as a cop?
Why are you a police if you do not
you're afraid of your life?
Exactly. If you don't know how to control people, it's an excuse of them. This is an excuse of them to say like
it's an excuse for them to kill the person.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not racist, but you are racist.
But the thing is that every time when a situation like this happens, people are always saying he was resisting, they were resisting there, and then you see the video and there's no resisting going on. And even if somebody is resisting, that doesn't give police a right to kill that person. Figure out how to get the whole thing under control. Like, you don't just go shooting people. Like
situations like that, if you see the person run away from you and you're the police and you're trying to arrest somebody and you see them running from you, why don't you taser them? That's my whole point. That's what I'm trying to say. And another thing, with the surveillance video with George Floyd, and they're trying to see if he was resisting or not, that was a sign to just make them switch around the story to say that he was resisting.
But he wasn't resisting.
I know he wasn't, but that was just a sign like, well, let me see what he was doing so we could change around the story.
Well, they just made themselves look even stupider because he wasn't resisting. Yeah. And the restaurant owner even said that he was not resisting. So now... And then there's also there's a few things that has been happening in the States. Like, there was a boy, I forgot his name. I think it's Ahmad. I forgot his name. But he was killed by a white supremacist and his son. Killed in Georgia for jogging in the neighborhood. I guess the neighborhood, I don't know if the neighborhood was predominantly white or what was going on, but he was jogging, minding his own business, and they killed him. I guess they're saying that they thought he was trying to rob a house, like he was a robber or a burglar. Like, what?
The funny thing about it to me is that if let's just put it in the white man's shoes. If a white man was doing that jogging, mind his own business, a black person, let's just say a black person killed him, do you know how fast they would arrest that person? That even with George Floyd, do you know how long it took for them to get this
to the police to get the police?
Arrested?
And the case with the guy who was jogging, that happened in February. Look at when these guys got arrested. These guys got arrested in, I think it was March. Like, what? Or I think it was actually, it wasn't even March. It was April they got arrested. It was April.
Like,
got arrested.
Why are you guys in his business, him jogging? What does that have to do with you? Like, I don't understand these people. It was even quarantine time. These people want to be out their house doing normal stuff, and you go up to the man and shoot him because he's jogging. It's like... And
another thing with that is that they said that the dad was an ex-cop and the dad was familiar with the guy. So that means that the dad had his eye on that guy for a while. And it's kind of the same thing like the George Floyd situation, because the police officer and George Floyd worked with each other. So that means that police had his eye on George Floyd for a while. But that means that he's been looking at that man and he was after that man and gunning for that man for a while. Protesting going on all around the world. There's protesting going on here in Toronto. There's protesting going on in other places, Montreal, and other places in Canada. There's protesting going on all over America.
Oh yeah,
all over America and other places in the world.
And the reason why, another reason why protesting is going on here is because they're saying that a young black girl got thrown off the balcony by police.
Yeah, she got thrown. The family is saying that the police pushed her off of the balcony, but the police are saying that she jumped So it's a whole.
We
there's no
see
body
video.
cam, so it's like
we don't see
what
the
really
video.
happened.
Yeah.
But people are protesting for her as well, and you can't really put anything past police nowadays. Like, you never know. So people are protesting for her. They're protesting for George Floyd. They're protesting for all the black people who have been murdered by the police, and nothing's happened. Like, and this is the whole reason why Colin Kaepernick has been kneeling during the national anthem. It has nothing to do with the flag. It has nothing to do with this. It has nothing to do with it's because of police brutality, and he said it many times, and people have been saying it, but like a lot of racist white people don't want to hear that that's the reason why he's kneeling. They think that he's kneeling and he's disrespecting the flag and he's disrespecting military and that has nothing to do with what he's doing. He was kneeling for reasons like this.
The whole protest and stuff, like the police, you could tell the police still doesn't care, because there's videos even with the protesters standing in front of the police car and the police are running them over.
Yeah, they're running over the protesters. Yep, they're running over the protesters. There's a video in Buffalo with 2 police officers or 3 police officers who pushed on an elderly man and he hit his head on the concrete and his head was bleeding. Police brutality right there. And I feel like they're doing these things on purpose because they want a fight with the public. They want to fight with the citizens. Like, they're macing people, they're shooting tear gas at people, they're shooting friggin' rubber bullets at people, hitting people in the head, hitting people in the eyes, making people lose their eye. Like, I saw a video of them hitting I think the boy was 17. They shot a bullet at him. They shot a rubber bullet at him and hit the boy in the head, and the boy felt like he was dead, and he was like covered in blood, and he had to go through surgery. Okay, this is craziness that these police officers, they're doing it on purpose. Like, I feel like they're trying to war, like they're trying to get like a rise out of people, and they're gonna, if they keep doing that shit, they're gonna get it.
Just put it this way, even with this police thing, like honestly, like they think that they're like higher than us or whatever. They think they
should be protected,
but at the same time, this could be the police. How about let's just say, how about if the police's family was protesting?
That's what I told my sister. Like, Donald Trump and these other racist white people are out here talking about how looters should get shot and people who are looting should get shot and blah 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 blah. But how are they so sure that their child is not one of those looters that are out there? So you're putting things on other people's children. You better hope that your child is not a part of that crowd, because how about if your child ends up getting shot? How would you feel? Like, how? And Donald Trump is not making the situation better. He's making it worse. He's tweeting and talking about, when they start to looting, we get to shooting or some stupid. And that, like, who says that? You're a president. You're supposed to be fixing the situation, not making it worse.
Running from it.
Like, what? Like, come on now.
So, yeah, like, you're not supposed to be running from the problem. That's not your job. Like, why you have the job if you're gonna? It's kind of the same thing I said about police. Why do you have the job? Like how I said that they were saying, I'm afraid of black guys, quote unquote, because something. Why do you have the job? It's kind of the same thing as Donald Trump. Why do you have the job if you're gonna run from your job?
But Donald Trump's not. The thing is, Donald Trump's not running from the situation. He's talking about the situation. He's making it worse. He's not on the side of the protesters. He's on the side of the police, and he's on the side of the white supremacists. He's not running from the job. He thinks that he's doing his job. Like,
but he's sitting back from the job. He's not the one. He's telling people what to do, but he's not the one actually doing it. So that's the reason why he's sitting back with his feet cocked up.
And then with the whole protest thing, they have people who are, I think it's Antifa. They're not even a part of the whole police brutality movement. They're there because they want to start shit. They don't like police. They don't like this. They don't like that. And they're just there for their own agenda, trying to push their own agenda. They're the ones who are doing all of the what do you call it? When they're the looting and the rioting or whatever. After the people who are for Black Lives Matter, who are for police brutality, after they're done protesting and they leave, or even sometimes during the whole protest is going on, Antifa comes in and Antifa will start rioting and stuff like that, and kind of make the people who are there for the police brutality situation make them look bad to media and to everybody else, and then people are like, oh, those protesters, they're not they're not doing what are they doing? They're not doing anything good, they're just making it worse and blah blah, when it's actually not even them. Like, so let's get that straight. You guys should probably do some research. Like, and another thing is that a lot of the places in where they're rioting in America, they put up blocks. I don't know if, not blocks, but bricks. I don't know if anybody's been noticing, but there's been a lot of pictures going around where there have been bricks at the side of sidewalks and stuff like that, set up for people who are not there to protest but there to start shit. Take the bricks and go and mash up places and burn down this place and burn down that place.
Are you talking about the people who are not a part of the protesting?
The Antifa people.
Yeah,
they come, and another thing is that they come. Their thing is my sister was explaining it. They go by black as well. Their whole thing is black as well, but they're not for black lives. Like, they're not for black lives. They're there for themselves. So their thing, their whole group thing is Black Lives Matter. So they kind of go by the same slogan, but the black lives that they're talking about is not our black lives. It's their black lives, like their group.
There was even the video with the girl who was recording these two girls who are not a part of the whole Black Lives Matter, and they're spray painting on some house.
They're spray painting on like
why are you guys doing that? Because they're gonna think that it's us and this and that. It's on the internet. A lot of people probably maybe saw it, but they weren't even a part of the whole protesting.
No, they weren't. And then they're like, we're for, and they don't really say Black Lives Matter. They say we're for BLM. They don't say Black Lives Matter. They say BLM or whatever, to try to make it seem like they're Black Lives Matter, but they're not for Black Lives Matter.
Interesting.
Like, y'all know what y'all are doing.
Yeah, and even like with the whole looting, they tried to put it on black people, but there's a lot of different
race people
there. Yeah,
a lot. I've seen so much pictures and videos of other races looting. Not only black people.
They make it seem with this whole protest and stuff that all the bad stuff is on black people, but there's a lot of other race there who are protesting with them as well. So you can't forget that. Nobody could forget that.
Yeah, there's protesting going on everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
And
there's one in Palestine.
Yeah. And thank you for the actual Black Lives Matter protest.
Like the people who are actually there for black people.
Yeah, and the different race too.
That's what I'm saying. The people who are actually there for black lives, like black lives.
Yeah. Thank you.
Trying to make a difference. Yes. Thank you. And then another thing that when it comes to Black Lives Matter, another thing that I don't like, and I've seen people address it already online, is when people say Black Lives Matter, they come and they be like, all lives matter. Yeah. Like, first of all, nobody said all lives don't matter. We're talking about black lives right now.
We have to make it clear that all lives do matter, but like all lives matter because police does hurt certain people here and there. Okay, like this whole protesting thing, they go around and they're hurting different race people.
But they hurt us. We get affected the most.
Exactly.
By police.
And we get killed the most by police.
We get killed by police. We get killed by white supremacy. We get killed by ourselves. We get killed by women. A lot of black women, when they go into the hospital to have babies, the doctors don't do a good job on it. They die in childbirth.
Let me clarify this. One thing when we say Black Lives Matter, when it comes to a black man and a police issue, the police always kills most of the time kills the black person. Their job is supposed to mostly put this person to jail, but they do the opposite and they kill them. When it comes to a white criminal, they will take them to jail and they will not kill them. That's the reason why we say Black Lives Matter is because of that whole situation.
Yes, like, have you guys seen those people those what do you call it? I'll call them terrorists. They're white, but they're terrorists because they go to festivals or school shootings and stuff like that and be killing off all these people, 8 people, 10 people, 20 people, 2 people, 3 people. Police, when the police comes, the police don't kill them, they don't tase them, anything. They just have them in their handcuffs and thinging them water and where you want to go to eat? You want a Burger King? And come to a black person, they could just pull over the black person for a broken, for instance. They could, but come into a black person, they could pull over the black person for a broken light or because their left light is not working on their car or some shit like that. And the pull them over and the person asked them for their license and the person going for their license, pow, 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 pow. Like,
I thought they
didn't even kill anybody.
I thought this is their excuse. I thought they were going in their hands for a gun. Like, you told me to take on my license.
And the other thing is that with George Floyd, they said that George Floyd, the whole reason why George Floyd got arrested in the first place was because of fake $20 bill. Oh, a fake $20 bill means that this police officer could go and kill him for a $20? Bro, like, that's why people say Black Lives Matter. The police really killed this guy over a counterfeit $20 bill. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, you took his life over $20. Are you freaking kidding me? That's why people are saying Black Lives Matter. And another thing is, another perspective on how you could take it is, people say, like, there's a thing going around online saying how, like, there could be 10 houses on a block and like one person's house is burning down and they're trying to get help to put out the fire on their house, and then somebody comes over whose house isn't burning and be like, what about my house? Like, bitch, my house is the one that's burning right now. What are you talking about your house? Like, oh, all houses matter. Like, yeah, all houses matter, but my house is on fire, bitch. Like, you gonna help me put out this fire? Or like, nobody never said that your house doesn't matter. My house is burned down.
Their house is in paradise and your house is burned down, and you're just there like, so.
And that's the whole point of Black Lives Matter. Like, all lives matter, yes, of course, but right now we're talking about Black lives. Right now it seems like every other day in America a black person is getting killed by the police. Doesn't matter if it's a teen, a man, a woman,
a child,
they getting killed by the police. Like, I don't know what's going on over there.
Go back to the same thing I just said with the whole, I was afraid of him, but you're a police officer. Why are you afraid of somebody? Why do you have the job? Like, it just quit the job, find something else to do with your life. Like, go do this. Lots of other jobs.
Yeah, go do something else. Policing is not for you.
It's just that simple.
If you're in policing just to kill people, like, it's not for you. Or maybe it is, because, you know, those police officers, when they freaking kill somebody, they get away with that shit.
And you could tell that police officers you could tell police officers are racist. I won't say all of them, and I don't know who is from who isn't, but the ones who just kill black guys for
no reason.
No reason. But and they're racist. The ones who the ones who have the white criminals who kill up a lot of black people, like the ones
not even only black people, just kill up people in general
who are criminals, whatever,
still alive.
Take them to jail. You're racist. Like
what happened to innocent until proven guilty? What happened to that? Like, you're a police officer, like Renelle said, to take people to jail. You're not a police officer to take the law into your own hands and kill people. Unless your life is really being threatened and people they're shooting at you, then I understand you doing something like that. But if you're not getting shot at and nobody's coming to attack you, why are you killing somebody? Like, you are not the law. You're not a judge. You're not the jury. You're supposed to take the person to jail, and then when their trial comes or whatever, they go to court, and then the judge is the one and the jury is the one who decides whether they're going to jail or not. You don't take it on yourself to freaking kill people.
Okay, let me just say something. These like, I have this, like, I never said this, but I feel like a lot of these police officers are the real criminals, because they should be the ones in jail right now, because they kill off a lot of people and they get away with it. They still have their jobs. They still go around. They have their jobs, and if they go to jail, they will come back out, probably even get another job, which is a police officer. You know what I'm saying?
The police,
like, they don't get arrested for killing off people, but they go and try to get people who kill off other people.
The police is there. They're there to serve and protect. But they're not doing a good job, and like Renelle said, you're supposed to be getting criminals, but they are the criminals because you're supposed to be going and getting people who are committing crimes like murder and like robbery and stuff like that. You're supposed to get them. You're supposed to get them, handcuff them, and take them to jail. You're not supposed to kill them because you're just as bad as that person. Like,
you could tell that racism still exists in this world because, first of all, you are supposed, like she said, you're supposed to get the criminals, put them in jail and whatever, but the police are the criminals because they're killing the person and they're getting away with it. They don't get arrested. They still have their jobs.
They still have their family. So, they still have their life.
They're the criminals, they're damn self.
They get fired from this job, they can always go to another precinct and get another police job. They can move out of that state and go to another state and get a police job and continue murdering innocent people over there too. So, you know, like, the whole system, that whole police system just needs to be brought the hell down because they're not doing shit, to be honest. Like, they're not. And a lot of these police officers that are, oh, Black Lives Matter at these protests, I don't really trust them. I don't really trust them because it's like, you're here protesting with us today, but then tomorrow when the protest is over, you're gonna go and do the same shit that we're here protesting about. So it's like, you're here kneeling down with us, are you gonna actually change? And are you going to actually try to bring change to your police department when you see some unjust shit going on? Are you gonna actually step up and say something, or are you just gonna sit back? Because if you're gonna sit back, don't come here and kneel down with us and try to act like you're for the people and you're really not for the damn people.
That's why this is my whole, so for this whole protesting, these whole police that are kneeling down and saying Black Lives Matter, if I don't see any changes in these police after this protesting, I'm just gonna sit back and watch. I'm not saying, I'm not really,
I'm done with it.
Yeah,
and I don't really mess with the police like that anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah, so
them can go on.
Hopefully this makes a change for
another thing is, with this whole protest going on, hopefully Black people can come together as a people. Black guys, start respecting Black women and stop downplaying Black women. If you have a preference for another race, that's great and all, but when you're gonna bring down Black women to go and try to lift up another race, you're trash. And
stop killing your own race.
Yeah, but another thing is that when these things happen with these whole protesting and stuff, not trying to say that other people don't come out and protest, but Black women are always at the front for these black men, ready to fight for this Black men.
And we're the first ones to get disrespected
and treated like shit. So all I gotta say is that if y'all don't change your ways, I don't know about
and stop breaking each other down as Black people, women and men. Stop breaking each other down. Stop fighting each other. Stop killing your own race.
Exactly.
And build each other up. Okay, that's what we need to start doing for 2020,
21,
and for
remainder of 2020 to 21 and beyond. So because y'all Black Lives Matter, marching Black Lives Matter, and then when the protest is over, you guys go back to doing your stupid shit. No. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. If you want change from the police, your ass gotta change too.
Gotta change first. That's the first line. Change yourself. Stop killing your own race. Start building your Black women up.
We need to come together.
Start building your own self up.
Start what do you call it?
Progressing?
No, start like buying from Black owned companies. Start supporting
your own.
Start supporting people. Black companies.
Yes, and thank you for those other race people who are actually for the Black Lives Matter.
Actually protesting.
Yes. Thank you. And thank you for watching.
Yes. But anyways, thanks for watching this video, you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I mean, it's a serious topic, but hey, and if you guys have anything to say, make sure you guys comment it in the comment section below. If you have anything to say about police brutality, about racism, about anything, make sure that you guys comment it in the comment section below. Make sure that you guys like this video, subscribe, and make sure that you guys follow us on Instagram, LewisGirls18. Thanks for watching, you guys.
Bye.